Recording in progress.
Morning. We're gonna start the video. I've got a band just in case you want to stretch later. I'm gonna start this video with pelvic locks. So lying onto your mat, just take a moment to check that your feet and knees are hip width apart. Your pelvis is in neutral and the weight feels pretty even through your shoulders. We're going to stir and circle the weight of your pelvis on the mat. So I'm not going to move my knees or hopefully my rib cage. Well, it will move as a consequence of my lower back moving, but not intentionally. So I'm imagining a clock face printed on my mat and a marble on my belly as the clock hand, which rolls around to each number on that imaginary clock face. Tipping all the way to the side, but keeping the knees quite level. I'm just trying to get to every number. And then I'm going to reverse the direction. So tipping the hips to the side. Allowing the back to arch. Allowing the back to flatten. Come back to the centre. Come into your knee fold, lifting both knees, gluing your feet and knees together. Do exactly the same. Pushing the knees away. Tipping the hips to the side, a little bit of a hip roll, pulling the knees towards you. Knees to the other side. So you're just again stirring the weight of your pelvis. This time moving the knees, but I'm still focusing on getting to every number on that imaginary clock face. Changing direction of your circles. Tipping the hips to the side, doesn't have to be a big movement. Try and make it an accurate movement. Head is heavy, shoulders are relaxed. Breathing wide into the sides of the ribs. Or return your feet to the floor. Back to neutral. Arms reach nice and wide to the side for some hip rolls. Both knees roll. Get your head in the opposite direction. Hold it for a breath in and breathe out as you return. Gluing your feet and knees together. Pressing the knees away. Scooping the navel to spine as you come back. And just enjoy the stretch. I'm almost imagining that I'm pressing my shoulders towards the mat as my knees and the pelvis rotate in the opposite direction. So I'm imagining a counter rotation of my pelvis and my shoulders. Last hip roll to each side. See if you can make the movement even so that you're rolling evenly. I feel like I go a little less far when I travel to the left. It's a bigger stretch. We're going to come back up to sitting. If you feel you can, you could do a roll up. You could always hold on to the back of your legs and pull yourself up to sitting. We're going to do rolling like a ball. So we're going to breathe in to roll back and breathe out as you come up. Trying to keep pulling your heels towards your bottom. Breathe in to roll back. Breathe out to curl up. Wonderful. Leave your feet there. Roll and curl back down. Hold both hands behind your head and we'll come into some curl ups. Nod the chin, breathe out as you roll up and breathe into rest. Press your lower back into the mat. Breathing into rest down. Seeing how much of your spine you can peel off of the mat. We're going to slide one leg straight. Twist towards your bent knee as you curl up. Breathe into rest. Breathe out, twist to the bent knee. I'm really thinking about how far I can peel my shoulder blade off of the mat. Change legs. Breathe out, twist. Breathe into rest. Think about keeping your shoulder blades your pelvis really square. So in fact, as I twist to the left, I'm thinking about gluing the right side of my hips into the mat. Taking a rest, lift your knee. As you tap, your toe to the floor will add a curl up. So breathe out, tap just one side, the other side stays rested and planting into the mat. Six, to each leg, changing legs. Breathing out, curl up, tap. 2. Really let the weight of your head be heavy in your hands and try and peel as much of the shoulder blades off of the mat as you can. We'll take a rest. Single leg circles. So we'll do 4 with a bent knee in each direction and 4 with a straight knee in each direction. So the lever is short to start with and you're really thinking about stirring the weight of your pelvis. Stirring the end of the thigh bone in the pelvis. We're not stirring the pelvis anymore, we've already done that. See the range of movement you can achieve with a bent knee. The leg doesn't have to be dead straight. Breathe in for the top of the circle. Breathing out for the bottom. Change directions. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Change legs. 1 circle, 2. Because my right leg is moving, I'm trying to think about the left side of my body grounding to the mat. 3, bring the knee right up towards you, out to the side, straightening that leg to continue. It's harder to keep a bigger circle with a straight leg because the lever's longer, so your opposite oblique abdominals have to work much harder. Change directions. Shoulders stay relaxed. I can feel my left shoulder lifting as I do these. Brilliant. Let's bend the knees again. Hold your head again. And we're going to curl up, lifting your knee. Rest down. Curl up, lift the second leg. Twist to the side. Hold. Center. Twist to the side. Hold. Center. Twist. Hold. Center. Twist. Hold. Center. One more to each side. Twist. Curl up even higher. Hold in the center. Twist. Stay there. We're going to go fast. I might not be able to talk through these. Pelvis, stay still, legs, stay still. How much rotation can you get to the side? That will do. Keep your head in your hands, your elbows visible in your periphery, knees up. And just do a little knee roll to the side. We're not going far. And see how far you can go before you fall. Back to the centre, breathing out to travel. And centre. And travel. Be brave. Go an inch further. See if you can keep the shoulder blades connected to the mat. I'm pretty focused on pushing my shoulder blades down in opposition to the leg movement. Just check you're not flaring your rib cage. Curl up, straighten the leg. Breathe in to bend the knee. Breathe out to curl up and straighten. Breathe in to bend. Scoop the tummy in, straighten. And rest. Breathe out, curl up. We'll hug your knees in towards you. And come into a bridge. So with your feet and knees hip width apart, we'll flatten the waistline. Lift your bottom, hold it for a breath in, and breathe out as you roll and curl back down. Peel a bit more of your spine, one vertebra at a time from the mat. Curling up. Take a breath in when you're there. Breathe out as you curl down. And bridging up. Take a breath in. Feet are heavy. And roll down. Reach your hands to the ceiling. We're going to curl up as you reach both straight arms to the side. Breathe out as you lift your hands to the ceiling and roll back down to neutral. Curl up. Push the knees away. Lengthen your spine. And roll back down. Relax your hands to the spine side. Bring your heels a bit closer to your bottom. We're going to lift your knee in your bridge and toe taps. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Check your pelvis is level and toe tap. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Roll down, take a rest. We're going to curl up. And at the top height of your spine curl, lift the opposite arm and leg. Press straight. Breathe in to come back and breathe out to press straight. Breathe in. Really working on the diagonal that's moving to keep the weight, but non-weight bearing side of your pelvis lifted because it wants to drop lower. Return your hand and foot and take a rest. And if that's a bit much, you could just stick to normal spine curls with marching heels, or the toe taps that we've just done. Opposite arm and leg lift. Press straight. Breathe in. Press away. One last. Return your foot to the floor and roll down. That side felt much easier for me. We're going to have one leg straight on the floor and one leg straight into the air. Now, both knees can be bent. You could try one to start with. We're going to really slowly switch legs. So it's a bit like a scissor, but I'm not holding my legs yet or adding a curl up yet. The legs could be a little straighter. So we're going to simultaneously switch legs and try and control that movement. Now if your hamstrings are a bit stiff like mine, having straight legs is really tough on the back of your leg and it makes the lever really long. So I prefer these. I'm a lot more comfortable with just a little bend. It's much less load, much less stress. Hold it for a breath in and breathe out. Too low. Let's turn that into scissors. So I'm going to slide my legs straight and curl up and press my legs straight on the floor, which feels a whopper of a stretch today. Curl up as high as you can. Hold your head. We're going to curl up and see if we can straighten your legs. Breathing to rest. Breathe out, curl up. Press to straighten. And drop down. Keep going with those. If you can, we're going to hold it. 2, 3, 4, and rest. We'll do 2 more. Breathe out, curl up. You don't have to straighten the legs, you could just hold a curl up with bent knees. I'm shaking, hopefully the camera isn't picking it up. 1, 2, 3, 4, and rest. Brilliant. Reach for your feet. Curl up if you can. I'm pulling on my knees to get a nice curl up and I'm reaching. Straight arms, straight legs and coming back. I'm not allowing my arms to travel below the level of my ears, so in my peripheral vision throughout. Don't take the legs too low if you feel it's too much strain on your back. 2 more if you can. Reach away, circle, reach, circle. Well done. Hold the back of your legs and we'll come up to sitting. Excuse me a second. Holding the back of your thighs if you want to. If you're happy to, we'll just come into our normal rollbacks. Take a breath in and breathing out as you come back up to sitting. I'm just going to change the camera angle. Curling back up, roll down. We're going to find a comfortable place, if there is one, where you could kind of hang out and have a chat. And in that position, we're going to deepen your lumbar curve. So I'm tucking my tailbone, doing a little posterior tilt, but I'm not moving my arms, hopefully I'm not moving my chest, and I'm just trying to pull my pubic bone forward, push my belly button towards my spine a little bit more, and see if I've got any movement, any more movement in my lower back. There's not much to give, and it's hard. 2 more. Come back up. Feet together, sit tall. We'll tuck the chin and roll down. Hold it for a breath in. Breathe out as you curl up. Knees up. Same again, but different. We're going to roll back. And this time we're not going to move your lower abdominals, but you're going to flex forward. So you're going to try and keep that tilt of your pelvis. Keep paying out at the front of the hips because they'll get tired. And curl your torso over your belly button. Shoulders stay sinking down away from your ears. Have a well-deserved rest. Curl forward. Let the arms go, let the head hang heavy. We'll pause here to take the hands behind you and see if you can lift your bottom. We're going to just reach forward for a shoulder stretch and come back. And one more little shoulder stretch. Think about lifting the hips nice and high. Can you turn your hands facing? They can stay out if it's a bit much. And we're going to do a little tricep dip. So I don't want the head of your arm bone to shoot forward. So I'm lifting into my shoulders through. I'm just trying to drop my bottom. It's a very small, it depends how long your arms are, how big your bottom is, or how high you stay in your bridge. We'll just do 3 more. Brilliant. Take a rest. Come back to rolling like a ball. We've already done it. Let's see if it feels any different after those little pulses. The point of where we were pulsing should feel a little more mobile, and for me, I'm not clunking my mid-back as I did previously. Shoulders drop away from your ears. Look towards your pelvis. Hold it. Making sure I don't clonk my head to the mat. Trying to keep the gap between my bottom and my heels the same. Brilliant. We'll pause for a spiral stretch. Reach the arms wide to your side and twist. Holding the ankle, and I'm just going to reach up and over into that stretch. I'm trying to keep my ribs as twisted towards the wall as possible. Take a breath in. And come back. Look at the hand as you take it behind you and twist forward. Same again to the same side. Rotate, hold, reach into it. Come back and relax. Change sides. Take a breath in. Look at the hand as you take it behind you. Twist. And reach. And come back. And turn. We're going to lie back down. Reach the hands forward. Curl back down through your spine. Lift your knees. Pressing your hands into the floor, can you try a little hip lift? So tiny little curls of your tailbone, mostly generated by the momentum of your legs moving, but I am very much pushing my hands into the mat. Awesome. Return your feet to the floor. Arms float above and behind your head for chicken wings, drawing bent elbows down to your side. Feet and knees are hip width apart. Breathe in as you reach the arms up. Breathe out as you draw down. Breathe in to press the arms above your head. And come down. Leave the arms above you. Slide the legs straight if you can. We're going to see if we can roll up to sitting. You can come up to sitting however you wish. Nod the chin. Press your lower back into the mat. And curl up. Reach the arms wide. Legs wide. And we'll do a saw. Twist to the side. Let the arms keep going. Tuck the chin and reach. Come back up. Turn, turn, turn. Let the arms keep rotating. Breathe into lift. Twist. You can bend the knees if you need to. Twist. Back palm turns up. As you come back. Brilliant. Open leg rocker. We're just going to do the balance and that's it. Press the leg straight. Tip your toes together. So I'm going to lean back a little as I attempt to straighten the leg. Got a nice neck alignment. You could hold on to the back of your thighs if you're holding the ankles is too much for your hamstring. So both legs and bend. Press both legs straight. Bend. Two more. Press. Bend. Press. And bend. We're going to do a teaser, sort of curl up, roll back. So we're going to roll back, taking the knees with you. Rest the head. Push the knees away. Roll back up. You can straighten your legs as I did a little, just to help you through that tricky stiff part of your lower back. If you feel you can, when you're balancing on your tailbone for the last 4, we'll straighten the legs to teaser position, bend the knees, roll back. Try not to favour your stronger leg. Weight even through both parts of your pelvis as you roll up. Bend. Roll back. We've got 2 to go. Feel free to hold the knees throughout. Should have said this at the start, not at the end. And pull yourself up. And press straight. Bend. And we'll come back. Brilliant. Let's lie onto your sides. And we're going to have a pillow if you want it. I'm just going to do a hip flex, a stretch, a quad stretch. So I'm holding onto my ankle, but I'm really trying to pull my knee backwards. So I open up the front of the hip and those muscles that probably feel a little fatigued after all that flexion. Before we change sides, we're going to stay there. You could rest your head to your hand or grab a small cushion, your arm, and forward. When the leg is in front of you, flex the foot, and we're going to do 20 bounces, tiny bounces. Now push your pelvis away, lengthen your waistline. Imagine you're lifting your tummy away from the mat. As you bounce, you're not touching the floor. Shoulder over shoulder, hip over hip. And we're just trying to stay pulsing without any bouncing through the upper body. Press the leg back. As you do so, straighten the bottom leg for a little bit of a scissor kick. Breathe in to bend. Swing the leg forward, breathe out, press back. Breathe in to bend. Breathe out, press. And swing. And squeeze to scissors. When you're next in scissors, stay there, and we're going to lift and lower. Scissor lifts. Top leg is behind you. Think about lifting from your center. Breathe out to lift. Breathe in to lower. So my bottom leg stays forward and resting to the mat, and we're going to tap twice in front and twice behind. Tap, tap, lift. Tap, tap, lift. Tap, tap, lift. Good. One last. And take a rest. Oyster, lifting both feet. Breathe in to lower. Breathe out to lift. 3, 4. Hi Rosie. 5, 6, 7, 8. Brilliant. We're going to change sides. And as we change sides, I want to grab your ankle again and start in that quad stretch, drawing your heel and your knee back as far behind you as you can. And make yourself comfortable. My mat to stop kicking the cat. And forward. Flex the foot, push the heel away from you. Nearly get you, Rosie. 20 beats. But I'm focusing on my center and not hitching or moving in my waistline. I think that's about 20. Leg presses back as the bottom, oh, sorry Rosie. Bottom leg presses forward. Breathe in to sweep and scissors. Reach for the wall, so even though we're moving your legs, you're trying to make your spine feel longer. Your toes press away from your head. Breathe in, go forward. Breathe out, switch. Last one. Brilliant. Lifts. Breathe in to lower. The top leg stays behind you to open the front of that hip. Imagine almost you're getting a hip flexor stretch. But because my leg's behind me, my tummy's got to work pretty hard to prevent my lower back from arching. So scoop the tummy in. Pelvic floor is engaged with each lift. Shoulders stay as relaxed as you can. Head heavy on your pillow or your elbow, arm. Tap. 1, 2, lift. 1, 2, lift. 1, 2, lift. 1, 2. Keep breathing. 1, 2. 1, 2. Last one. Into oyster, heels together, heels in line with your bottom, lifting the top leg and both knees. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Brilliant. Lying onto your back, so I'm going to grab my band. And come into a hamstring stretch, using the band to help you, pulling your straight leg towards you. You could twist slightly your heel from one side to the other and pause in whichever position gives you the greatest stretch. Change legs. Twisting your heel from one side to the other, holding your leg in whichever position gives you the greatest stretch. I'm going to come into a glute stretch. So you can choose whether you have your ankle crossing your knee and you hug the legs towards you, or your knees crossing one another. Today the first one feels better for me on this leg, so I'm going to hold a wider angle, but you can choose whatever's comfortable. Let your head relax. And we'll change sides. Again, you could try each position. I might go midway on this leg and pull my legs towards me. Holding onto both knees, let the feet be together and the knees drop open. For your inner thigh stretch, you could hold the knees or the ankles, so you've got a bit more hip flexion as you pull the knees towards you. You can choose, or a midway point between the two where you feel a good inner thigh stretch. Glue your feet and knees together, and we'll pull yourself without grunting back up to sitting, and we'll come onto your hands and knees. So your hands are under your shoulders and your knees are under your hips. And lift the opposite arm and leg straight. When you're there, we'll hold it, lift your tummy and tap and lift. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and change. So check you're not allowing your back to arch, press away, scoop the tummy and lift into your head, neck, shoulders pressing away from the floor. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, great. You're going to drop to your elbows, and on your elbows we're going to come into a little mini plank. So we're going to hold that position. And I'm really thinking about lifting into my shoulders. Head position is always a worry in a plank because it wants to be down and forward. So I want you to really concentrate on lifting. We're going to come onto your side and hold your side plank. Go back to the front, lift your head and go to the other side and hold it. Front. Check your bottom is low, your head is high, and reach. Front, and turn. Front, last one. Turn. Got one more to do to make it even on both sides. I'm walking backwards on my mat. Front and turn. Knees will glue together throughout. On our hands and knees we'll do a cat stretch. So curl your spine. Hold it for a breath. And come back to neutral. Flat back. Scoop the tummy in. Tuck the tailbone underneath you, round and curl and hold it. Good. So you can continue a few more of those, or you could come into a full plank and jackrabbit, where you drop back and plank. Your knees bend, your bottom presses back. I'm really thinking of pushing into my away from my hands into my shoulders. Lift your head as you finish. And lift your head. 2 more. Stick to cat. Much nicer. And my hands are a bit too close now. Squat, curl into a ball, push through your shoulders. And plank. We'll do our little pigeon stretch here. So bending one knee, elbows drop to the floor. Come back. Knee crosses over one another. The weight on the front leg. Slide your back leg straight. We're going to lie onto your fronts. We'll start with my favourite, you're probably bored of it by now, heel beats. Tiny taps of your heels together. Breathing in for 5 beats, breathing out for 5. Breaststroke swimming, the elbows are bent to your side. We're going to reach the arms forward, keeping your nose low, and then lift your head as you press bent elbows back to your side. Breathe in to lower your nose and reach forward. Breathe out to come back and lift. Scoop the tummy in as you reach and press, and your head comes back. Forward, lower your nose, press back. When your arms are forward, we're going to leave them forward, and we're going to lift arms and legs just a few inches from the floor. Breathe in to lower. Pubic bone stays down onto the mat. Breathe out to lift. Breathe in to lower. Breathe out. Lift and press away. Breathe in, lower. Breathe out. Lift. So if you can, we're going to stay lifted for swimming. But if you need to rest your hands and feet to the floor, do so. So you can choose the speed which you're happy with. Whew. Well done. Circle one straight leg behind you. 2, 3, 4, 5. Change. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Changing legs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and change. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you're happy to, both legs. 1, 2, 3, 5. Change. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Hands are bent to your sides. We're lifting up. Now you can just do a lovely cobra extension stretch, or you can try to lift up whilst lifting the arms. And rolling down. And scooping the navel to spine, lift up. Lift the arms. And lower and rest. 2 more. Lift. So the last challenge in extension, if you want to, you could stay there. We're going to try 6. Arms up, arms back. So we're going to try and hold that back extension. I don't want you to lift any higher. You stay long and low with your back. I'm pulling my tummy in. Pubic bone lengthens to the mat. Keep your head lifted. Keep breathing. Every time you breathe out, pull the tummy in. I'm not counting, so I'm going to make that my last one. And my arms reach to the mat and I press into extension. And bridging up. And come back. And I'm going to reach into child's pose. Pressing back. And both hands can walk one way and hold it. And both hands could walk to the other side and hold it. And back to the centre. We'll come to a kneeling position. No, you can't. I'll just tip the screen so you can see my head, not that you really need to. So, I've got 2 cameras on the go, so. Lunging forward into a stretch. You lift it up, please. Trying a few technical issues, few hands and cameras in, 2 cameras in different shots. I'm going to pop my hand in front of my shin and lift up and rotate and try and look at my hand and breathe and just try and hold the balance and not wobble too much. And then change. Tip forward, tuck the tailbone underneath you. Sorry, children have now descended into the room, so background noise present. Lunging forward, pressing the hips forward. Hand goes inside the shin and reach up. And breathe. And rotate and really try and hold the balance. And we'll come back. Good. Kneeling. We're going to just do a kneeling side bend. And reach up and over. I'm very much holding my leg as you go. So breathe in, sit tall, and then side bend. You can have knees wide and reach. Breathe in to come up and twist. I'm going to stay there for kneeling side kicks. So hold your hip or hold your head. Your head feels heavy in that position. Just think of a straight line between your nose, your belly button, your pubic bone. So you're in straight a line as you can. Your head can be supported. From there, we're going to kick forward and back. The leg is in a straight line with your waistline, if possible, not too high. Forward and back. And then when you finish that one, we'll come up to kneeling. Keep your legs straight and a little inner thigh stretch so you could reach towards that straight leg if you need to. And we'll repeat the same on the other side. So hand goes to the floor, hand, knee, foot, all in a nice straight line. Hips forward, head back, hold your head, lift. 2, 3, 4, 5. All of these can be done lying down on your side as we've previously done today. So you choose if this position is a bit hard on the weight bearing hip. We're asking quite a lot of that joint in terms of range of movement to stay leaning on your side. So pick a position that you're happy with. No change in your spinal alignment. 2 more. And then we're going to pop your foot back down, reaching up, and do that arm, side bend. Your toes can either be facing forward or up to the ceiling. You choose whichever is a better stretch. Well done. We'll leave it there. Thank you very much for joining in. See you next time.
Recording stopped.